The galaxy was silent when the warning echoed again. Every world, every station, every ship heard the same message in every language. Do not enter human space. The voice sounded old, tired, and full of fear. It was the same warning that had echoed for centuries. Captain Ryth of the alien ship the Laren listened to the signal as it repeated again and again. His crew sat quietly behind him, exchanging nervous looks. The warning was a part of history, a mystery that no one understood. Humans had vanished long ago, leaving only empty worlds and a border no one crossed. But the voice still echoed like it was alive. Captain Ryth had a different dream. He wanted answers. He wanted to know why the cosmos feared the space humans once called home. He wanted to see what was hiding behind the dark boundary. And he believed the answers were worth the risk. The crew did not agree. The navigator, Loro, shook his head as he watched the forbidden line on the screen. "Captain, we should not cross," he whispered. "The stories say even the stars behaved differently inside human space." Ryth's eyes stayed locked on the border, a thin glowing line where normal space ended. "Stories are not facts," he said calmly. "We are explorers, not children afraid of shadows." Still, the shadows did feel real. As the Laren approached the boundary, the lights inside the ship flickered like something was breathing near them. The engines hummed strangely, as if the ship itself was warning them to turn around. Every step inside the ship felt heavier. Every sound echoed too long. Like the universe was listening. Ryth ignored it. He stood tall and raised his hand. "Cross the line," he ordered. For a moment, nothing happened. Then reality twisted like a ripple moving across water. The stars bent, stretched, and snapped back. The crew held on to their seats as the ship shook. A deep cold moved through the walls like a ghost passing by. When the shaking stopped, silence rushed in. A silence so complete it felt wrong. The space inside the border felt empty in a different way. Empty like something powerful had been removed. Or sealed away. Loro checked his screens. His hands trembled. "Captain, sensors are not reading anything," he said. "No stars, no dust, no signals, nothing is here." Ryth frowned. "How can nothing exist?" he whispered. But the silence did not stay silent for long. A soft pulse of light floated into view. It was pale white, like a fading memory. It appeared in front of their ship, hanging in the dark. When the pulse flashed again, the ship's systems jumped as if waking from a nightmare. Then a human voice came through the speakers. It was calm, but heavy. "You are not welcome here," the voice said. The crew froze. Humans were supposed to be gone. Extinct. Yet the voice sounded real. Alive. And filled with authority. Captain Ryth leaned forward. "Identify yourself," he demanded. But the voice did not answer. Instead, the pulse of light moved toward a distant shape in the void. A shape that looked like a giant outpost floating above a dead, cracked star. The outpost was old, damaged, and covered in marks from a war no one remembered. Yet it still glowed faintly, as if it was holding on to a purpose. Ryth pointed toward it. "We will investigate," he said. The crew hesitated, but no one argued. They followed the fading light as it guided them closer and closer to the human station. The closer they got, the more the air inside the ship changed. A deep pressure pressed against their bodies. Like the weight of an ancient memory pushing down on them. The ship docked slowly, with a heavy metallic thud. A thin fog swirled around the station's entrance. It felt cold, too cold for a place with no life. The crew stepped inside, their footsteps echoing far too loudly. The station looked abandoned. Dust floated like frozen snow. Panels were broken, walls cracked. But the place did not feel dead. It felt like it was sleeping. Waiting. As they walked deeper, lights flickered one by one. Not from power returning. But as if something unseen walked ahead of them. Guiding them. Watching them. RYTH felt a strange pull in his mind. A whisper that did not belong to any living creature. A whisper that said, "You should not be here." He ignored it. He pushed forward until they reached the central chamber. There, in the middle of the room, was a glowing console. Its light was soft, but it felt heavy with age. RYTH reached for it. The moment his fingers touched the surface, the console lit up completely. The walls vibrated as a new voice spoke, clearer than before. "If you have entered human space," the voice said slowly, "then the past will awaken." The crew looked around in fear. RYTH stepped back from the console. A sudden pounding sound echoed through the station. Heavy, slow, and deliberate. Like footsteps. Human footsteps. Coming closer from the dark hallway behind them. And the station whispered one more warning. "This is the forbidden zone." The sound of footsteps grew louder behind the crew, slow and heavy, echoing through the cold human station. Captain RYTH turned, his eyes searching the shadows, but there was no one there. Still, the steps continued, as if an unseen presence followed them. Loro whispered softly, "This place is not empty, something is here with us." No one argued. Even the air felt different, vibrating with old memories. RYTH raised his hand, signaling the team to move deeper into the station. The footsteps followed them, always staying just far enough to stay hidden. Every time they turned, the sound stopped. Every time they walked again, it returned. It felt like the past was walking beside them. Watching their every movement. The hallway led them into a control room sealed behind a thick transparent door. Inside, there were holographic screens floating like frozen ghosts. A strange blue mist drifted across the floor, glowing softly like starlight. The door slid open by itself, releasing a wave of cold air that felt almost alive. RYTH stepped inside first, feeling a chill crawl up his spine. This place was untouched for centuries, yet it felt like someone had left just moments ago. Loro activated a panel, and the screens flickered awake. Recordings began to play, showing humans preparing for something terrible. They were rushing, shouting orders, reinforcing walls, loading weapons. The tension in their faces was clear. They were not preparing for a normal enemy. They were preparing for something the galaxy had never seen. A human commander appeared on the biggest screen. His uniform was torn, and blood stained the collar. He spoke with a shaking voice. "If you are seeing this," he said, "then we failed to stop it completely." The crew leaned forward, every word tightening the air around them. "We built a weapon," the man continued, "a weapon that can protect the galaxy, but it comes with a price." The screen changed to show a dark, shifting shape tearing through planets. Stars dimmed as the creature passed. It looked like a shadow made of hunger, swallowing light wherever it moved. Loro gasped, "What is that thing?" The recording answered as if hearing the question. "The Devourer," the commander said, "a creature that feeds on galaxies." The alien crew stood frozen. This was no myth. This thing had existed. And humans fought it alone. The screen flickered again, showing humans carrying wounded soldiers. Explosions shook the walls, lights flickered just like in the present moment. The commander spoke again, voice breaking. "We activated the weapon, it worked, but it cost us everything." His hands trembled as he pressed a final command. The recording distorted, the audio cracked. Then the final message played. "If anyone enters human space, the weapon will reactivate to protect all life." Silence filled the room after the recording ended. The crew stared at the screen, their minds frozen with fear and confusion. "Humans built something so powerful," Loro whispered, "that even after they vanished, it still protects the galaxy." RYTH nodded slowly. "But why the warning?" he asked, "why is human space forbidden?" Before anyone could answer, a loud metallic bang echoed through the hallway. Not the soft slow footsteps from earlier. This was sharp, violent. Like someone, or something, trying to break in. The crew turned toward the entrance, weapons raised. A cold wind rushed in, swirling the blue mist at their feet. Lights above them flickered rapidly, almost like they were blinking in fear. RYTH stepped forward carefully. "Is someone there?" he called out. The answer came as a sudden flash of bright white light. Then the control room door slammed shut on its own, trapping them inside. Panels lit up across the walls, showing new footage. This time, the recordings were darker, heavier. They showed humans fighting in the last moments before their disappearance. Screams, explosions, shadows moving like living storms. Then a final image appeared. It was not a person. Not a weapon. But a strange humanoid figure made of pure light. Its eyes glowed like small stars. It looked human, yet not human at all. The figure spoke only one sentence. "We are still here." The crew stepped back in shock. "What does that mean?" Loro asked. RYTH stared at the glowing figure on the screen. "Maybe humans did not die," he said softly, "maybe they changed." The room began to shake, the screens flickering violently. The old station groaned like something heavy was waking beneath it. The footsteps returned, this time right outside the door. Slow, steady, and getting closer. Closer and closer. The sound felt ancient, powerful, filled with a warning they could not understand. RYTH raised his weapon, breathing hard. "Prepare yourselves," he said. The door hissed slightly. A small crack of light opened. A shadow appeared behind it. Tall, silent, and human-shaped. The station spoke again in its tired, broken voice. "If you have entered human space, the past will find you." And the footsteps stopped right at their door. The shadow behind the door did not move. It stood completely still, tall and silent, as if it was waiting for the crew to breathe. Captain RYTH felt every hair on his arms rise. The temperature dropped so quickly that the team's breath turned into mist, drifting through the air like fading ghosts. Slowly, the door slid open by itself. The shadow stepped forward, but its form was strange. It did not walk like a living creature. It glided, smooth and weightless. A soft white glow surrounded it, making its shape flicker like a weak flame. Loro stepped back and whispered, "Is that a human?" The figure stopped, then its glowing outline sharpened. A face appeared, dim and transparent, like a memory trying to become real. It did look human, but only in the most basic shape. Its eyes were bright lights, more like stars than real eyes. The figure raised its hand slowly, not in threat, but in greeting. A calm voice filled the room. "You have entered human space," the figure said, "and so I have awakened." RYTH swallowed hard. "Who are you?" he asked, forcing his voice to remain steady. The glowing figure's light pulsed softly. "I am the Guardian," it said, "a creation of the last humans. I exist to protect their memory, their warnings, and their weapon." The crew exchanged nervous looks. This was something no alien had ever seen. A being made of energy, yet shaped by human hands. The Guardian drifted toward the console, its light touching the dusty screens, making them glow brighter. "When humans fought the Devourer," it said, "they knew their victory would not last forever. So they built me, to guide anyone who dared enter their space." RYTH stepped forward. "What happened to the humans?" he asked. A long silence followed. The Guardian dimmed, its glow flickering like a fading candle. "They moved beyond," the Guardian whispered, "they are not gone, but they are no longer what you call living." The words felt heavy, too large for simple minds to understand. Loro frowned. "What does beyond mean?" The Guardian turned its star-like eyes toward him. "Humans sacrificed their physical bodies to contain the Devourer," it said, "they became energy, light, memory. They became the echo that still warns the galaxy. The crew froze. Humans were not extinct. They had transformed. RYTH felt a chill. So the warning, is their voice, he asked. The Guardian nodded slowly. It is the echo of their final breath. Before anyone could speak again, the station lights flickered violently. The walls shook, dust falling like ash from the ceiling. The Guardian's glow pulsed fast, almost like fear. It has sensed you, the Guardian whispered. A tremor ran through the room, deep and powerful, like a heartbeat from something massive. The Devourer stirs, the Guardian continued, your presence woke the past. The screen beside them snapped to life, showing a dark shape moving across the border of human space. A giant shadow stretching across stars. RYTH felt his chest tighten. That thing, it's returning, he said. The Guardian floated closer to the crew, its glow growing brighter. You must leave, the Guardian said, the weapon is unstable without human control. If it activates fully, it may destroy everything inside this region, including you. But RYTH shook his head. Humans protected the galaxy once, he said, we cannot run and let the same monster return. The Guardian's light flickered again, as if surprised. You are not like the others, it said. Most flee when they hear the truth. Another tremor shook the station. Panels burst with sparks, the floor vibrating under their feet. Through the window, the shadow grew larger, absorbing light as it passed. The Devourer was hungry, alive, and coming closer. RYTH steadied himself. We need to control the weapon, he said. Loro's eyes widened. Captain, that's impossible, we don't even understand human technology. We will learn, RYTH replied, his voice firm. The Guardian floated between them and the console. If you do this, it warned, you may not survive. But if we don't, RYTH said, the galaxy won't survive either. The Guardian stared at him for a long moment. Finally, its glow softened. There is one way, it whispered. But it requires courage, and great pain. The Guardian extended its hand. A swirling orb of light appeared, humming softly. This is the core memory of human ascension, the Guardian said. It holds their knowledge, their fear, their strength. If your mind accepts it, you can control the weapon. If your mind rejects it, you will fall. RYTH did not hesitate. He stepped forward, placing his hand on the orb. A blast of white light shot through him. His body trembled, his vision blurred. Images raced through his mind, humans fighting, humans screaming, humans vanishing into pure light. He gasped for breath as the weight of 1,000 sacrifices entered his thoughts. The Guardian watched silently. You carry the echo now, it said softly. RYTH fell to his knees, shaking. But he stood back up slowly, eyes burning with a new resolve. A violent quake shook the station. The Devourer's shadow blocked half the view outside the window. Its size was impossibly large, swallowing space like a black ocean. RYTH pointed to the chamber deeper inside the station. That's where the weapon is, he said, voice trembling but strong. Guide us. The Guardian nodded, its glow rising like a flame ready for battle. The final human weapon waits, it said. And the past is about to awaken. The Guardian led the crew through the cracked metal corridor, its glow lighting the path like a pale ghost. Behind them, the station trembled again, dust falling from the ceiling in thin clouds that floated like dead ash. Every tremor felt stronger than the last. Every vibration felt like a giant heartbeat echoing through the walls. The heartbeat of something ancient and hungry. RYTH could barely keep his balance. The new energy inside his mind made his body feel heavier. His chest burned with every breath. But he pushed forward because the galaxy behind him had no other shield. Loro stayed close, constantly checking the scanners strapped to his wrist. The screen flickered with static but showed one terrifying truth. The devourer is growing, he whispered, its size is increasing, like it is feeding on something. RYTH did not look back. He already knew what it was feeding on. Human space itself. The Guardian drifted ahead, motionless yet moving, like a living light carving a path through the darkness. You must hurry, it said, if the devourer reaches the heart chamber, not even the weapon can stop it. A deep groaning sound shook the entire hallway. Pipes burst, spraying cold steam that danced around their feet like white fog. The lights overhead shattered one by one as if crushed by invisible hands. Finally, the corridor opened into a vast circular chamber. A massive spherical machine floated in the center, held up by glowing beams of ancient energy. It looked like a metal planet, cracked and scarred, yet still alive with a soft blue heartbeat. The heart of the human weapon, the Guardian said, the last gift of humanity. RYTH felt the strange energy in his mind react to the machine. Like two memories recognizing each other. He staggered forward, gripping the railing. Loro grabbed his arm, worried. "Captain, are you all right?" RYTH nodded slowly. "I can feel it," he whispered, "it's calling me." The Guardian floated closer to the weapon, its glow merging softly with the blue light. This weapon was designed to trap the devourer, it explained, but humans had to give their essence to power it. That is why they ascended, why they became energy. The chamber shook violently. The ground split in several places, light pouring through the cracks like molten stars. Outside, through the broken window, they could see part of the devourer's shadow filling the entire horizon. It was no longer a creature. It was a moving storm of darkness swallowing everything in its path. RYTH tightened his grip on the railing. "We have to activate the weapon now," he said. The Guardian dimmed. "Once activated, the chamber will close permanently," it warned. "You will have only minutes before the entire station collapses." "We don't have a choice," RYTH replied. He stepped toward the control pillar, a tall structure made of transparent crystal glowing with inner storms. When his hand touched it, a surge of energy shot through the chamber. The weapon awoke, lighting up with a bright blue pulse that shook the air. Instantly, the devourer roared. It was not a sound but a vibration through space. A vibration that cracked the remaining walls and made the crew grab their ears in pain. The shadow outside shifted rapidly, like a sea of darkness rising into a giant wave. It sensed danger. It sensed fear. It sensed life. The Guardian hovered beside RYTH, its glow trembling. "You must stabilize the core memory," it said, "only someone carrying the human echo can do it." RYTH felt the burning energy inside him rise like a storm. He pressed his palm deeper into the crystal pillar. The weapon responded. Blue light spiraled upward, forming a massive sphere of energy around the machine. The chamber shook more violently than ever. Alarms screamed, panels exploded, sparks rained like deadly stars. Loro grabbed the railing, shouting over the shaking. "Captain, the devourer is breaking in." RYTH looked up, and his heart froze. A massive tendril of darkness pushed through the outer wall. It was not solid. It was like liquid shadow twisting and searching. Searching for them. Searching for life. The Guardian rushed forward, placing itself between the tendril and the crew. Its body expanded, glowing brighter than before. "I will hold it," the Guardian said, "you must complete the activation." The tendril struck the Guardian with unbelievable force. The light being screamed, its voice sharp and metallic, not human at all. Its glow flickered violently, almost dying. "Go," the Guardian shouted. RYTH placed both hands on the pillar, forcing the energy inside him to merge with the weapon. Memories flooded his mind again, human cities burning, armies fighting, voices crying, stars dimming. He felt the fear humans felt. The pain they endured. The sacrifice they made. He pushed harder. The weapon glowed brighter. The sphere expanded. And the devourer roared again, louder and angrier. The tendril slammed into the chamber floor, cracking it open. More tendrils crawled across the station, smashing walls, breaking metal, tearing through the floor like claws. Loro fired his weapon at the shadows, but it passed through uselessly. The shadows did not care. They only wanted the heart of the weapon. They wanted to devour the last echo of humanity. RYTH's arms shook violently. The pillar burned his skin. But he refused to let go. The Guardian screamed again as the darkness wrapped around it. Its light flickered like a dying star. Still, it held the Devourer back long enough for RYTH to complete the final step. The chamber filled with a blinding white light. The weapon's core expanded like a star being born. Then everything went silent. Dead silent. As if the universe itself held its breath. And the weapon unleashed its full power. The white light swallowed everything. It was not just light. It was energy, memory, history, and sacrifice exploding all at once. For a moment, the galaxy seemed to disappear. There was no sound, no time, no space. Only the silent heartbeat of the ancient human weapon. Then, slowly, shapes returned. Shattered metal, broken floors, floating dust, falling sparks. Captain RYTH opened his eyes, gasping as if he had drowned in light. He found himself lying on the floor of his ship, the Laren. The control screens flickered weakly. The air smelled of smoke and burnt circuits. Loro was beside him, shaking his shoulder. "Captain, you're alive," he said, his voice trembling. RYTH blinked several times, trying to understand. "How did we get back here?" he asked. Loro shook his head slowly. "I don't know, Captain. One moment we were inside the chamber, and the next, the whole station vanished." RYTH stood up unsteadily. The ship drifted near a field of small glowing particles. Where the massive human outpost once floated. Now there was nothing. Nothing except quiet light, drifting like the remains of a dream. RYTH felt a pull inside his mind. A soft whisper, like a memory calling him. He turned toward the ship's main console. A glowing message blinked on the screen. Not written by them. Not written by any alien technology. But written in the same gentle white light the Guardian had. "Human space protected you," the message said. "The Devourer has been erased." Loro read it with wide eyes. "Did the weapon destroy it?" he whispered. RYTH shook his head slowly. "No, not just the weapon," he said. He could feel the truth spreading inside him like a warm wave. The Guardian appeared again on the screen. Its form weaker, smaller, like its light was fading away. Its voice was soft but calm. "You did not activate the weapon alone," it said. The last echo of humanity used the rest of its energy to complete it. RYTH felt a heavy ache in his chest. "So, they're gone," he whispered. The Guardian looked down. "There is no more human energy left to keep me alive," it said. "But the galaxy is safe again." Loro stepped closer. "What will happen to you?" he asked gently. The Guardian smiled faintly, a sad but peaceful glow. "I was created from their final light," it said. "And now that light has been fully used." RYTH clenched his fists. "You saved us," he said. "No," the Guardian replied softly. "Humans saved you." The ship trembled. Not from danger. But from the Guardian's fading energy. Its body flickered like a candle in wind. It looked at RYTH one last time. "You carry their memory now," it said. "The echo inside you will guide your people. Tell the galaxy the truth." RYTH nodded slowly. "I will," he whispered. The Guardian's glow dimmed until only a thin outline remained. Then it dissolved into small particles of white light. The particles drifted into the darkness. Spreading like stars being born. Silence filled the ship. A calm, peaceful silence that felt, final. Loro wiped his eyes quietly. What do we do now, Captain? RYDH looked out of the window. Where human space stretched in endless darkness. Once feared, once forbidden. Now peaceful. A resting place for the greatest protectors the galaxy had ever known. We return, RYTH said. We tell the truth. The journey back was quiet. No warnings, no shaking space, no echoes of old memories. The Devourer's darkness was gone. Replaced by stillness that felt almost holy. When the Laren crossed the border out of human space. The ancient warning signal stopped. For the first time in centuries. The old voice did not speak. Because there was nothing left to warn. The danger was gone. The echo had been fulfilled. Far behind them, something small glowed. A tiny spark of white light drifted where the outpost once was. It was weak, faint, almost invisible. But it pulsed. A heartbeat. A reminder. RYTH watched it until it faded into the dark. Maybe humans are not truly gone, he whispered. Maybe their light will return someday. The ship moved forward. Stars opened like doors in the distance. And the galaxy waited for the truth the crew would bring. A truth that would change everything. A truth that would echo through every world. Every species. Every star. Forever. Humans never abandoned the galaxy. They simply became something greater. Something eternal. Something that still watched from the darkness. Protecting life. For as long as the cosmos remembers them. And the cosmos always remembers.